So, I told you that I was going to do an update on the G366, the MX361 clone. I've only like an hour ago attached the muffler and the associated heat guard and gaskets. There's actually two gaskets, exhaust gaskets, that are sandwiched between either side of the heat guard. So one goes onto the block and one goes onto on the other side goes onto the muffler. So I've done them up with JB Weld Red High Temp RTV 100% silicon gasket maker and sealant. So I'm going to wait overnight for that stuff to cure. Silicon doesn't usually take a hell of a lot of time to cure, but you know, I'll give it time to cure. I'm not that desperate. But I have got another chainsaw. Yeah, I purchased another chainsaw. And people might say, why? Why have you bought another chainsaw? Well, you know, this is how many cc's is it? It's 54.5 cc's. I do not have a saw in that range. I do have a 50cc saw, I do have a 60cc saw, 62 I think, this is a 361, 61cc. So, and I was also intrigued by the Bush Ranger. I've seen it in my local shop. Where did I buy it from? I bought it from there. Ingham Motorcycles and Mowers. Great bunch, very good people to deal with, very receptive. You know, if you need something ordered in, they'll order whatever you need in. Not always what you want ordered, but yeah, that's another story. But yeah, two girls, they got the business off their dad. I think he's still alive, he wasn't that old. And yeah, they're a great bunch. If you need some lawn equipment or ATV, or you know, like the side by side, or a ATV, or ride-on mower, or just ordinary mowers, or brush cutters, you know, weed whackers, whippersnippers. They've got everything, and all the associated bits and pieces and oils and everything. They've got everything. So really good bunch to work with. Anyway, cheers. Drinking Carlsberg, very nice Danish beer. So now, so it is a Bush Ranger. Now I do have a Bush Ranger leaf blower, which I purchased from them years and years and years ago. Excellent unit. That one is a Japanese unit, but not all Bush Ranger equipment is made in Japan. Some of it is. So Bush Ranger is an Australian company, and if you go on, if you Google Bush Ranger, the company, lawn equipment and that, they only ever mention Japan. They don't mention China, but this saw is made in China, and it is made by the Zhejiang Zomax Garden Machinery Group, or the Zomax Group, founded in 1985 in China. So it is a Chinese saw. It's made for Bush Ranger. I had a look at the Zhejiang Zomax Garden Machinery website, and they have got chainsaws on there, but nothing that is comparable to this, or this displacement anyway. They've got a whole bunch of chainsaws, but it would appear that Bush Ranger are getting these made, the Australian company is getting these made in China by Zomax, Zhejiang Zomax Garden Machinery, specifically for them in three different displacements. I can't remember what the other two are. There's two smaller displacements, and this is a 50cc, and there's I think a 40cc or a 38cc or something. Anyway, so this thing, let's read some. It comes with a 2-year domestic warranty. They do not provide a commercial or higher rental warranty. The powerhead dry weight is 5.3 kilos, so if you're in the United States, you do the conversion. You get a smartphone. The engine is 54.5 cc's. The output is 2.6 kilowatt. It uses this one in particular, the biggest one that that the shop had, uses a standard 3/8 chain, which is nice. because I have got various chain sizes. I've got 404, I've got 3/8, I've got 325. I don't want to have because the other saw I think had 3/8 low profile, and I'm not sure what. I think the other one was a 325. Yeah, that's all the specs. They started up in the shop. They went out the back and started. I could hear it running. It's got a very low note, surprisingly. Let's see, what can I say about it? I'll start off with what I don't like about it already. One thing I don't like about it is that the chain brake, only has one pivot point. That's cheap and nasty, and I don't like that. The clutch cover is plastic. Don't like that. Thus far, that's what I don't like. It would appear that the oil and the fuel plugs don't leak. We'll wait and see. Let's have a look under the hood and see what sort of filter it has. Whether it's just a cheap, crappy filter or a proper filter. Won't know until I undo it. It's got a good filter. It's already got shit in there. A bug. There's a bug in there. So it's got a one of these types of filters, which is nice. One of them coming off. Yeah. That's a proper filter. All right, cartridge filter. Very nice. Let's see if I can. Does this come off? Does this come off? Just straight off. I think it does. I wanted to have a look at the carby, see what kind of carby it has. But this Duvalaki looks like it's secured on somehow. I'd have to take this top cover off to have a look at what the carby is. Let's see if I can determine what kind of carby it is. Spin this around. I'll see if I can see in there past all the plastic crap. It's a Walbro. Alright. Or at least it says it's a Walbro. So that's nice. It's a Chinese made saw with a Walbro carby. I can see Walbro. Whether it is a Walbro or not, that's a different thing, because there are people out there making Walbro carbies that are not Walbros. But I have no reason to disbelieve them. I'm sure that the Aussies would have gone, listen, Chinese manufacturers, we don't like your carbies, they're rubbish. And yeah, they're pretty much right. As my experiences with dramas that I've already just been detailing in recent videos. So it's got a Walbro carby. Excellent. That's really good. Interesting to know which carby it is, which Walbro it is. The muffler has one exhaust port. I'm going to have a proper good look to see just how restricted the carby is, and if it is severely restricted, I don't see a whole lot of crap in there. If it is severely restricted, I will probably gut it, more than likely, although it is, yeah, it's one of those mufflers that is probably not that easy to pull apart. It might be. It might be easy to pull apart. Yeah. I haven't got my socket set here. One thing I like about this small saw is that it's not a clamshell. It is a normal magnesium crankcase, 2 halves, And so I was asking, what kind of bar does this thing take? You know, does it take a where's all the stuff for it? I'll just back in a sec. Okay, I'm back. So this is what you get. You get the parts breakdown and the manual, owner's manual. You get a carb adjustment screwdriver, and you also get a Torx wrench, and of course a scratch. Now let's have a look at, because the lady that sold it to me, she said no, they've got their own type of bar mounting. It's not a Husky. It's not a Husky. It's or a Stihl type bar mount, or Zenoa or whatever. Husky owns Zenoa anyway. It's their own, and I don't want to cast out on her knowledge, but what I said was, yeah, I seriously doubt that. One nice thing is that the chain adjuster is on the side, not at the front like rubbish. That's really stiff. I don't want to go back. So, yeah, okay. Do that. Okay. Wow, that chain adjuster is really stiff. So let's have a look. So the chain brake is, that's a bit yucky. The chain brake and the chain adjuster are on the clutch cover. It's pretty dirty, but it is grease. So it's got an outboard clutch. Another insect. Yeah, a lot of insects. So it has got an outboard clutch, which it's not necessarily the best, but so be it. Where's that adjuster? The adjuster's there. So let's have a look at this bar. I'm interested to see what it really is. I'm not going to show you what I'm wiping that with. Let's have a look. So that's the Stihl, and it's not a Stihl. It would appear to be their own. Yeah, Pro Cut. So this is a Pro Cut. Yeah. This is an 18-inch. 54.5 cc's certainly can handle more than 18 inches. I'll just back in a sec. Okay, sorry about that again. Again, I'm going to get comments. Oh, you should prepare better. Yeah, get stuffed. So it would appear that their bar mount system is their own. It's not one that I am familiar with. Okay, that's just a piece of cardboard. Yeah, alright. So there's a cardboard gasket between the bar and the boiler plate. Yeah, so looks like she was right. This is their own mount, or a mount that I'm not familiar with. It's probably a copy of another mounting system, but I'm not familiar with it. You never know. So surround. Come on, baby, you can do it. You can do it. It's all the way back. Oh, no, it's not. Yeah, that's pretty easy to do. Yeah, so grease there. Yep. So let's chuck this on. Yeah, so it's their own system, or would appear to be. Yeah, like I said, a system that I'm not familiar with, or a pattern, a hole pattern, hole and slot pattern, bar mount pattern that I'm not familiar with. But it's I'm not familiar with Pro Cut either. It's a Pro Cut bar. Come on. Probably getting this another one. Okay, there we go. So where the nuts go is there's a huge recess, which is a bit of a pain in the ass. But, yeah, like I said, it is what it is. So get it finger tight, lift it up, and then crank that baby. Crank it. The chain adjuster is a bit rough, or it feels a bit rough. It's not smooth, which is not that unusual for Chinese saws. But you know, if you're going to go to the length of putting Warbro carb on it, you should have a decent chain adjuster. So that's tight, but you know what? With a brand new chain, they do get really loose, really quick. So when you do buy a new chainsaw and you first fire it up and actually put it into the wood, cut with it, don't do too much cutting. Do a little bit of cutting and then check the chain tension again, because it'll be loose. Because brand new chains, that's not bad. Brand new chains do work loose, so you have to adjust them. So let's see, it's got a choke, separate choke mechanism. And when you hit the trigger, it goes back in. It's got a rocker on-off switch that, yeah, which doesn't return to on, which I don't necessarily like. I might just see if I can disassemble this. See if the what's it called? The muffler does come apart. So I'm gonna go out of shot again. Sorry, I'll get myself another beer. Ah, caught. All right, I'm back. I'll see if I can take this muffler apart. Don't know. So I'm wearing my what's it called? My Pharmatech hat, which this is not a Pharmatech saw, but it is a Chinese saw. So okay. Let's see if I can take this apart. There's a cover plate, and then there's two mounting thingamajiggers, two Torx mounting screws at the bottom that mount it onto the crankcase, front of the crankcase. I'll just take this cover off, see what that does. That's interesting. So there's nothing stopping those nuts from coming off. And my experience is that nuts do come off. Okay, so that didn't really do that much. Where's that? So I hope I don't bugger up the because I'm really keen to see how constricted this muffler is. I hope I don't bugger up the exhaust gasket by taking this muffler off, because a lot of the time that's what happens. Is sorry about the slide. That's a lot of the time when you take a muffler off, you stop that. The bolts look good quality, surprisingly. They're certainly not the old cheapo zinc-plated Pharmatech things. These are black socket screws, Torx socket screws. Alright, so I'm going to need what does that do? Work it off, work the muffler off, and yep, came off, no problems. Didn't destroy the gasket, the exhaust gasket. There's the exhaust gasket. Alright, so the heat shield, then exhaust gasket, then muffler. You can see there, it's got 2 rings. Yeah, so it's got 2 rings. Yep. The piston's got 2 rings. Now let's see how constricted this thing is. It's actually not too bad. There is a box in here, but it's got some big holes in it. It's got some big holes in it. So that is actually not too bad. The muffler is, yeah. So the back of the muffler is folded over the front, all around. Same as the G366, similar thing. The actual exhaust port out the front is a reasonable size. It's not bad. That's actually I'm surprised. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That box, I don't think it'd be that constricting it. So okay, I'm happy with that. That's nice. It is actually quite nice. No doubt about it. You did a good job, Bush Ranger. You probably specified, hey, we don't want this ridiculous nonsense. Like, I've got a brush cutter whippersnipper, and man, there was like a steel gauze, this big block of steel gauze that was, that was obviously some sort of emission control bullshit, and that was really, really constricting. But yeah, I got rid of that, and then it went underwater and I completely lost it. So I did buy a new weed whacker, new whippersnipper. I have not yet done any surgery to that exhaust, but knowing myself, I have no doubt that I will sooner or later. So I'm just trying to get this thing started. Come on. There you go. Yeah. So, all in all, I'm pretty happy with that. That's not a ridiculously restricted muffler at all. It's pretty good. So yeah, kudos to Bush Ranger and the Zhejiang Zomax group. Happy with that. Put this on. It's symmetrical, so it doesn't matter which way. You can't see what I'm doing, but yeah, it doesn't matter. You don't really need to. So, I'll do that up first. Oh, what I might do is put some washers, either spring or star washer over that. So I'll be back again. So a couple of 3/16 spring washers, because on parts, especially like a muffler, chainsaws have got a lot of vibration, and if you don't have something holding nuts and bolts on, there's a pretty good likelihood that it will come loose. I mean, I've lost bar nuts, you know, it's just fallen off, and I've only found out when it was too late. And when you're out, you know, in the backyard or in the bush or wherever, then you lose a bar nut, yeah, you've lost a bar nut. Luckily, I always keep spares. I always have a toolkit and keep spare bar nuts just for that purpose. So I'll just do that up nice and snug, so I have no exhaust leaks. So yeah, interesting. Interesting. Now, should I look under the hood? Should I take that top cover off? Yeah, alright. Just for you guys. I'll take the top cover off and have a look underneath. Have a look underneath. I hope they don't say, oh, if you take it apart, you know, you lose your warranty. What? For taking it apart. This is for maintenance purposes. So yeah, don't get too haughty. Okay. Take that off. Got it. Okay. Yeah, I might just leave that. There's a lot of crap attached to it. It's not like a Husky or a Stihl. Everything's attached to this top cover, including the on-off switch and the choke, and leave it. But what I will do is see if she'll fire up. Let's see if she'll fire up. Well, see if she'll fire up without choke. There you go. 2 pulls or 3 pulls. Well, if it's an easy start. It's a spring assisted starter. If I'd given that a really good yank straight up, it probably would have started up on 1 pull, and like the muffler was cold, so the engine, which means that the engine was cold. So it's a very easy to start saw. It comes with a Walbro carby, what is it, 54.5 cc's. Comes with it, oils very nicely. There you can see the oil on there. Comes with an 18-inch, and yep, the chain's already loosened. Told you. So what do I have to say? That's very nice. The reason why it started so easily is probably because it's got a Walbro carby. Yeah, I have to say there's a reason why everybody copies Walbro carbs. It's because they're good. I'll just let that tension off. That way it's not impinging on the crank seal, and not so much the crank bearing but the crank seal. Yeah, it's, what was I going to say? Yeah. seems to be pretty good. The time will tell. The like the trigger and that reasonably. There is a bit of stickiness there. Plastic, Chinese plastic parts are usually yeah, a bit crap. But yeah, still a heap of flashing and all the plastic. Yeah, doesn't bother me, just as long as the thing works and doesn't blow up. Different size. Yeah, that's interesting. Where is it? I'm just seeing what size screws the crankcase screws are. They're bigger than that. So they don't want you to take the crankcase apart, which I don't intend to anyway. The chain brake. Yeah, it works. It's pretty sloppy, but I don't really use the chain brake anyway. Yeah, I didn't say that. Well, I don't. It's quite stiff. Probably needs a bit of lube. I can see a bit of rust in there. Yeah, I'll have to get the old what's it called? Lithium grease out and coat it all in lithium grease so it doesn't keep rusting. So I'll have to look up ProCut, see what the go with them is, if they make a longer bar for this. See if I can get a 24-inch bar for it. One thing I do like about it, it does use standard 3/8 chain, 3/8 pitch chain. It's not a low profile or a 325. It's a full 3/8. Very nice. Alright, so obviously I haven't tested it in the wood yet, so you know the proof is in the pudding, they say, but I'm pretty confident that this thing will do pretty well. All the reviews, I had a look at the reviews and they're all positive. No one said nah, it's a piece of shit. Everybody was quite happy with it, so that's good. So tomorrow you'll see the G366, the MS361 clone, put together, and I'll see if it even runs, because I did actually have the inlet pipe, the impulse inlet pipe from the fuel tank, the actual pipe that's in the carby, it had pulled out. Yeah, so I did mention that in text in the last video. But anyway, if you are thinking of buying a 54cc, 55cc chainsaw, consider one of these. So the good thing the reason that I actually bought it is because it's a 54.5cc saw and it is not a clamshell. It's a magnesium 2-piece crankcase, proper job, not a clamshell. So until tomorrow, see you later.